Meditation has been the most transformational practice that I have come across. It has the potential to connect us to who we really are. And when we are connected to the source of our being, transformation, insight, it naturally happens. Things fall away in our life and new things come in that are going to support our growth. I found meditation through a mastermind group of entrepreneurs, and I was not a spiritual seeker. I was not looking for anything spiritual. I honestly found it as a tool of successful people. These people were successful in my eyes and were telling me things that I should do, like journaling, reading, meditating. And so I did everything. And with meditation, I like to say I wasn't searching for anything spiritual, but the spiritual found me. I decided to start meditating while I was walking up the mountain. And it was these meditations that first gave me the glimpse of, oh, this is what people must be talking about. That I started to get this sense of fulfillment. I even had these words start repeating in my heart. I am fulfilled at my core. I am fulfilled at my core. And as I repeated these on the mountain, it was this realization that this God that I had always learned was out there, that it was actually in here, that it was the source of who I was, and it was the source of my ultimate fulfillment and joy and peace. And it wasn't found by anything external, that at my core, that I am fulfilled. And this was such a powerful realization that at the top of that mountain, I wrote this note to my future sons or daughters. And this is a story maybe for another time, but I received a call or a question from somewhere. You can call it God, you can call it divine. It didn't speak through words, but it was an intuitive knowing. And the question was, do I want all that life has in store for me? And as I received that question, I also knew what was being asked of me to give up. And I was being asked to give up drinking. And I wrestled with it. I was 25 years old. I thought, I could never do this. How would I socialize in the world? How could I let go of something that has been such a part of me for 10 years? But I knew that even with some development that I had been doing, that this was holding me back. And so I made this proclamation. I wrote in my journal to my future sons and daughters, on this day, I, Lewis Redmond, stop drinking. And as I closed that book, it was like the sky opened up and showered me with so much love and ecstasy. And I was crying and just screaming, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was my first spiritual experience and led me to the next few days having more of these experiences that led me to quitting my job to pursue the calling that I felt. I felt like I had found something and I wanted to give it. I felt called to serve in some way. I didn't even know what that way is. So here I am now, 9 years later, and that moment was a catalyst for me and for where I'm at now. And I have been fortunate where I have been able to serve and help people in my journey. And so why I meditate is to connect back with that well. Meditation is like a well. There's water, there's energy that's always coursing through us, but sometimes we block ourselves from that energy, and meditation helps to reconnect to the well that is within. And that wellspring does so much in our lives. Once we're connected to that, we don't have to force things. We don't have to make things happen. Life starts to happen through us. And so for me, meditation is always about reconnecting to my source. It was never about stress reduction, although it can help reduce stress. It was never about working with anxiety, although it can help work with anxiety. It's really, for me, something a lot deeper, about connecting to what I call God, what you might call spirit, source, universal energy, the Tao. Doesn't really matter what you call it, but meditation is my tool to find that energy again, so that what can then unfold in my life is in accordance with not my will, but a greater will. And so that's why I meditate.